don't think we're Are we watching TransWorld?
Hey, I'm Jaime Owens. Today we got Marc Johnson, and we're going to talk about his 2000 video part from Modus Operandi. How you doing, Marc? Pinky's out, pinky's out.
I'm doing good, Jamie.
Well, thanks for taking the time, man.
Oh, dude, thanks for interviewing me. Like, thanks for still caring about me after all these years, dude.
Oh, we love you, man. We love you. How did you get involved with the TransWorld Modus Operandi video?
Okay, so Greg Hunt started filming for TransWorld, and this is Greg Hunt.
The Greg Hunt.
The Greg Hunt, like Minefield Greg Hunt, DC Video Greg Hunt. And he's like, I want you to have a part in it. And I was like, okay, cool, let's, whatever. Like, I don't know you, but let's start filming. I'm super psyched that you're gonna be the dude, because you know what it is. And so Greg and I went out a couple of times. We went to Third and Army in San Francisco. We went to Third and Army. I met up with him, and he filmed a couple of tricks. I think he filmed a switch front three over the little bump to curb and a nollie heel flip over the bump to curb, and we literally never met up after that ever again. So I missed out on that TransWorld video. The next video pops up, and Greg calls me again, and this is after he flaked on me for the reason, or I flaked on him. I think I flaked on him. So here comes Greg. He's like, hey, Marc, it's Greg. I'm like, hey, Greg, what's up, dude? Yeah. And we just he's like, hey, I want to get you in on Modus Operandi. They didn't have a title yet.
Yeah.
So started filming with Greg, and this is Greg Hunt in a nutshell at that time. He goes, I'm gonna call you every morning, even if you're not skating. I'm gonna call you every morning until we start editing this video, or until we stop filming for it. And I was just like, all right, cool. And Greg Hunt started calling me every morning from San Francisco with the weather report in San Jose. And dude, I got Modus Operandi out of that, and then I did some hard missions with Ty Evans. And then, dude, that's like one of my favorite video parts.
That's epic.
Of all time.
That's so fucking sick.
Yeah.
So tell me about the intro part where you're in the tuxedo and you have the sign, let's press play.
Yeah. Like, I heard this guy, Cliff Kaufman can do kickflips, and he was a football player.
Oh, do we need to talk about Cliff Kaufman?
Let's
talk about Cliff Kaufman.
Clear the fucking air about Cliff Kaufman. Okay, so Cliff Kaufman is a real person. So he was he was older than me. He was in high school. So he was on the football team. And he also skated. Cliff shows up one day at my friend Seth's house, and he's got like a bowl cut and braces, and I've never seen this dude. I see these guys every day, never seen this dude. And I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And Seth's like, oh, that's Cliff, man. Like, he skates, he's rad. And I was like, where the fuck has he been? I've been here every day for 6 months. Where the fuck's he been? So Cliff starts skating, and I'm just like, he's better than everybody. So anyways, Cliff Kaufman's the first dude I ever saw do kickflips. At the end of the summer, he started his senior year, and he was graduating and going to college, and he became an attorney. Cliff truly skateboarded for the reasons that people should skateboard. He skateboarded because he loved it. You know what I mean? And when he wanted to, and he was fucking good at it.
You're like, I heard this guy, Cliff Kaufman can do kickflips, and he was a football player. Cliff was like a gnarly football player. So everyone's like, what the hell is a kickflip? We're like, okay, it's where you ollie, and the board flips and you land back on it. And you're like, no way, can't be done. And this football player, Cliff Kaufman, came out skating with us. He was a really cool guy. He wasn't like a gnarly jock asshole. He was a cool guy. We're like, Cliff, dude, do a kickflip. He did a kickflip. We're like, oh my God, that was the fucking trick, a kickflip. That was the trick. This is something you never thought possible, and you saw it, and it was like, I can't believe it. It's possible.
So stop that. Which is true. Yeah, but it's possible.
That's
you can't believe it's possible, and then you find out it's fucking possible. So that intro with the lounge singer suit. Greg is an artist. Greg was like a visual artist before he worked in film. So Greg is like an artist, and he used to show me like art that he did. He was a photographer and an artist. I hung out with Greg a few times, didn't know him at all. Like super intimidated by him. I was like, oh fuck, I got this weird idea. Greg's gonna think it's fucking stupid, but he might be able to use it. Yeah. So I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get a lounge singer's outfit. Like the cummerbund, the fucking bow tie, like the white thing, like you're playing the piano with a fishbowl on the piano, just like da 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 da.
Late night.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna get a lounge singer outfit, and I wanna do the Bob Dylan thing, you know, the Bob Dylan thing where you just write shit.
Draws all, throws the signs down.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, Bob Dylan as a lounge singer, let's go.
Let's do it.
That was the idea behind that thing. Bob Dylan as a lounge singer.
That's awesome.
With no hair.
With no hair, of course.
And so that's what I just included that one. Like, I think we did a bunch of different stuff.
Different like writings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So how long did you film for this video?
6 months.
6 months.
Because that was the TransWorld thing back then. You film for 6 months, and what you got is what you
Is
got.
that
Greg and I filmed that one night in the back of an NC board shop. We found junk, and he made that bump. That was in Florida.
For the AT Atlanta?
Atlanta. SF. Yeah, right there.
So we're pausing on the heel flip over the bar, bump the bar.
Yeah. So a couple of years before this, I took Gabe Morford to that school, and it was a bump to L-shaped bar.
Yep.
And I thought, in my retarded mind, and I was 18 years old, and I thought that bar was like, dude, that bar was like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was gnarly. And I thought in my 18-year-old mind that I was gonna do a backside lip slide, front board popover. Yeah, and so Gabe hit me up to do a Thunder ad, and I meet him at the spot. He has to drive all the way to San Jose to get to this spot. So I show him this thing, and I tell him what I wanna do. I'm like, Gabe, check this spot out. Like, I wanna do a backside lip slide, front board popover. And Gabe was just like, fuck yes, let's do this.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, so I start trying it, back lip, front board popover, and dude, there's some weird shit starts happening, dude. Like I can't ollie that high, so I start getting like pitched, like clipped on the fucking bar, like, and grabbing that L bar. Dude, it was so fucking crazy. And like grabbing the L bar, you know? And I slid a couple. I was like, okay, cool, it's possible.
That's
like,
epic,
It was scary as shit, dude. Like,
yeah, you're like locking yourself into it.
Yeah, and I've never been a big backside lipper. Like, look through my video parts, I'm not a big backside lipper. Like, on rails, on ledges, like, sorry, not a back lipper. But I thought for some weird reason, I was like, that's the perfect spot to do a back lip front board transfer. And so I'm trying it, and it's like looking grim because the back lip should be consistent and automatic.
Yeah, that should be.
You should only worry about
getting out of it.
Front board popover, getting comfortable with front board popover. And I was struggling with the back lip, and there was a try where I hung up under the bar. Got pitched, so back lip got pitched backwards.
Into this L bar part of it?
Yeah, feet, L bar, full backflip I backflipped onto my elbow, like I landed chicken wing, and I broke my arm.
Fuck, that's heavy.
Yeah, I broke my arm, and dude, I got up and I knew something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was. Because there's no mistake in a broken arm. And I left. I didn't say a word to Gabe. I just got up and I was holding my arm, and I left the school and got in my car and just left and went home.
You didn't say anything to him?
I didn't say bye. I didn't say nothing.
Holy shit.
And dude, Ruben Orkin called me that week and was like, hey dude, like I just saw Gabe. Ruben Orkin was one of the best, dude. Ruben, one of the best dudes that skateboarding has ever like been blessed enough to work with. Ruben called me that week and he was like, dude, Gabe called me and passed the phone to Ruben. And you know what Gabe said?
What?
Gabe said, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Because I left his ass there.
Yeah.
I left Gabe Morford out of school after he drove an hour or two. Like, who does that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, me. I do that.
You did.
I do that in 1996.
Yeah.
That was 1996, Mark. I left Gabe Morford at a spot. But anyways, he called me and he was pissed and he's like, hey dude, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like that was his like, fuck you back.
Yeah.
And it was so cold. It was
You're just
so,
like, oh,
because
gut
you don't,
punch.
dude, you don't fuck with Gabe Morford. So Gabe was just so cold and he just was like, I'm gonna punch you in the ear right now. And then he passed the phone to Ruben and Ruben was so sweet. He was like, dude, are you okay? Like, fuck, Gabe said you broke your arm. And I was like, yeah, dude, I broke my arm. And he's just like, fuck, that sucks. And I was like, I'm gonna go back and do that, dude. Like, fuck that. I just need to learn backside lip slides.
I learned the trick that I want to do there.
Because I didn't know how to do backside lip slides.
And you want to do them on the craziest thing too.
I
the
learned
L-bar.
backside lip slides on the SF state rails, the 4-stair rails. After that. So I couldn't even do back lips.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's the story of that heel flip school that I fucking whatever.
And then you came back and we're like, I'll just heel flip it. I'm gonna just get a heel
And
flip.
that was, dude, that heel flip was like years later. I was scared to go back to that school.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's like bad car. You're like, oh, I ain't going back to that
Dude, it
spot.
was. I was thinking that.
Yeah, you're like, that spot's
And
cursed.
you know, I'm going up to heel flip it, and I just see that devil magic fucking bar. I never touched that bar again. By the way, I never.
That's the one that Jerry Switch Crook popped over, right? Is that the same San Jose one? Yeah.
So I did a late shove it over that and a heel flip, and I was chilling.
You're done.
Yeah. I would just go there a lot and watch dudes skate.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah. Gabe Morford, I acknowledge that I fucking treated you like shit, and to this day, I'm still so sorry for that. Dude, that trick was crazy.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, so that spot was in Los Gatos, down the street from NC Board Shop, and it just in this random, because you know, like tech companies started popping up.
Yeah, so you always had a loading dock stuff.
So on Los Gatos Boulevard, we always had to drive by, you know, you had to drive down the street, and there was just like, when it turned into San Jose, it was like tech warehouses.
Yeah.
So this parking lot was in one of those tech warehouses, between two parking lots. And there's a bump to it. If you look at it, it's a bump to a curb. And I had this trick on a flat bar, like a long flat bar.
You did this trick on a flat bar?
No.
Oh yeah.
I had it in mind.
Okay.
But I needed because I didn't skate round bars at the time. I didn't know how to skate them. So I was like, oh, a flat bar is like a ledge. Yeah. So I was like, cool. If I ever find a super long one, I'll do it in the middle and fully transfer, not come off the end.
Yeah.
So I drove by that one day and it was just like bump to curb. But bump to curb to like a high drop
off on the other side.
Yeah, and I went there one day and I pulled in and I was like looking at it and I was like, I might not be able to do that on a flat bar. That's because a flat bar is like that high, and I was like, but I damn sure can do it on a curb. And I went there and filmed it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh, and you're blind when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You don't. You're like this. You're
whipping it around.
You nollie and you go. You're just like this, like you're just down here with your right foot, like feeling around for it, like this, like, did I get it? Did I get it? I did so many nollie cab tail slides that day.
Oh yeah, locking in. Huh?
Yeah, and somebody was like, dude, that's cool, like nollie cab tail slide or whatever.
And you're like, nah.
Or it's a helipop tail slide.
Helipop.
Yeah, that trick is called
helipop.
a trick is called a helipop, not a nollie cab or whatever. And I don't think I'd ever seen anyone do that trick.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it on the curb. I was like this, fuck it, I'm doing it on a curb. It's gonna look like a big tall ledge on the other side.
I'm gonna get on the low side and I'm gonna sneak it off to the big side on the other side.
Yeah, dude.
And this is your spot, right?
That's the Los Gatos 3 flat.
3 flat. Thing. So there's some older footage right here, and then the new shaved head footage.
That's all in one day.
Boom. And then you came back and was like, switch 360 flip.
That was the America ad.
Oh, the switch 360 flip?
Yeah, I did a switch frontside 360 because I remember I remember those white MJs were leather, and I always skated suede shoes.
Oh yeah, you can see that they're like patent leather or whatever.
So I didn't like leather shoes, or I didn't think I liked leather shoes, and I got a pair of those in the mail, and I took them to that spot that day. And dude, I learned switch front 360s, and
because it was just sticking to your feet so good. You're just like, oh my God, it's like.
Because dude, you do a switch front 180, backside 180. And so and that gap was so good, it was downhill too.
Yeah.
So I learned that in leather shoes, and I was forever hyped on leather shoes. And the switch 360 flip, I'd never done that down anything. So I did those two tricks in one day, and it was just like, I felt like I had like made it in skateboarding.
You finally learned those tricks. Like what? Switch 360 flip.
In leather shoes. Oh, so the back tail.
Yeah.
The back tail. I think Greg made that. I wanted to put a ledge over that thing, and Greg made it. And then I went to Kinko's and made high contrast, giant blueprint copies of my face.
Like, that's your face?
That's my face.
It
Look at
doesn't
that.
look like you for some reason. The eyes and the nose or something. do it to the camera. That's him.
Greg builds that box, and I don't tell him about that. And dude, I show up. He's got this box like already. He's got this box there. Greg was gnarly. He would build a spot for you. He built a 13 or a 14 foot long box because that gap was 12 feet.
Yeah.
So all the tricks Gershon Mosley ever did on that thing, that gap was 12 feet long. Gershon Mosley bent that spot over and fucked it. So Gershon Mosley. So I can't do tricks like that. So I told Greg, I'm like, I got this spot, dude. I want to build a ledge, but dude, that ledge is gonna have to be big. Greg was just like, no problem. He built me a 14-foot tall ledge.
And there were no qualms back then about building spots, right? You weren't like worried about like, this isn't a real spot. We're building a fake spot. That's all good.
No, what's your other fucking option? It's 14 foot long and it sits on top of a 12-foot gap. What are you gonna fucking pour concrete?
Porcrete.
So Greg made the box. I hadn't even seen it yet, but I had all these fucked up posters of my face in there. And dude, I started tacking them up for the footage. And Greg was just like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, Greg was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm having fun. This is fucked up, dude.
That's amazing. I never.
Yeah. And then I made little ones.
Right there.
Dude, I thought that shit was so funny. It's fucking funny now that you know that, right?
It is. Because like the whole time we were like, what kind of like posters are those on the background?
That's my face. I thought everybody knew that.
Maybe they did. I never knew it was your face.
Dude, I was so hyped on that, man. Hyped on this super easy, simple line. You know why I did this line?
What was that?
I did this line so I had an excuse to do.
Switch front 3.
No, fakie big spin, nollie big spin. I was doing those in the parking lot, back to back, and I was trying to see how fast I could do them. I wanted to do them in a full motion where I did a nollie big spin, touch the back truck on the ground, fakie big spin out. Like this, like nollie big spin, pivot, fakie big spin. I was trying so hard to do them just that quick, and that was the best I could do them where you like literally don't set up.
Jeez, that's heavy.
So go to that switch nose grind fakie flip. I have a cool story about that one. All right.
Is that metal ledge right there? Is that metal
it's
angle
the
iron?
worst. It's angle iron, but every 4 feet there's a giant fucking plate that sticks up off the ledge like that high.
Go over it, but it's like.
When you 50-50 it, it's tin, 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 tin. It sucks. So if you notice, I only do the switch nose grind
In a short space.
in the short space of 4 feet. Paul Sharp was there. Nollie 360 flip. Mark Whiteley shot that.
Shirtless, got a shirtless clip. It was hot.
Dude, that's the whitest. That's the
That's
whitest.
some white skin.
Dude, you know what's fucked is when I saw the clip, I didn't want to use it. Like
Yeah.
those guys were hyped on the trick, but I was
Yeah.
like so embarrassed.
Really? Fuck. It's like
Yeah.
fucking hot.
I was so embarrassed, man. That's not white, dude. That's like alien. That's like
Alien
that's
skin.
Nordic. That was hot, dude.
Yeah, up.
So I built a manual pad to take to that spot because I was like, what if you did a manual up something?
Yeah. That's epic. Yeah, so that's your box on top, right?
Yeah. And
Fakie manual.
And I painted it to look like concrete, and it totally doesn't look like concrete. That's the LA Coliseum, one of the coolest manual places ever.
That was heavy, a nose manual, nollie gap nose manual.
Yeah, I remember showing Greg that, and he was just like, he was stoked.
Yeah. I always like this line too.
Yeah.
These ledges, are these some of the best ledges in the world? Those marble ledges.
Those are the craziest ledges. Those are the craziest ledges, and they're 2 in a row, and they're perfect.
And the ground is absolute. I remember going there, I was like, holy shit. I couldn't hardly do anything on them, but they were amazing.
The worst is when you're skating there and your board
Goes out
slips
to the water.
into the water.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. Ty, my board went in the water, and Ty had his lights, his Aries, and he goes, dude, stick it in front of the light for 20 minutes.
Oh, and it fucking dries it right out.
Oh, I was like, this is insane. Usually we'd have to put it in the trunk. The day was over. So I was like, fuck that, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Remember when Ben Colin fell in the water there? He hates
'Cause he
when I
was-
bring that up.
Ben was running to catch
grab-
someone's board.
Yeah, and fully went in with his camera.
Yeah, that's how much of a gangster Ben Colin is.
Yeah, so awesome.
Ben took one so gnarly for the team. That water was filthy.
Sacramento.
God, that was hard to skate. The driveway to that fucking
It's a
spot.
curved.
It's a circle. So you either have to carve super gnarly backside to get to
Yeah.
the thing, or super gnarly front side.
Yeah.
And so you have to go in a circle to a triple set.
Yeah.
So whenever you guys are watching old footage of that triple set, you have to know that every single dude had to complete a 90-degree circle, half a circle, before they even got to pop down the fucking thing.
Yeah, and get set up and go
That
straight
thing
in.
was so hard for me to skate, man. Seriously. Dude, that spot is fucked up. Every trick down that is fucked up.
Yeah, so good.
I always wanted to try, so I frontside shove at nose grinds, and I would always think, oh, somebody had already done this, like Day One or somebody.
That's true,
Enrique
yeah.
Lorenzo had already done it.
Yeah.
And I remember we were at this skate park, and for whatever reason, I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna try a varial heel nose grind or crooked grind or whatever. And dude, after a while, I fucking did one.
And you're like,
Never
what?
did that trick ever again. That
Really?
was hard.
One and done.
Dude, it's just like, I don't do varial heel flips, so that was just like, the fact that I landed one, I was like, and of course it had to be at a skate park.
Yeah, skate park, blue wood.
Well, dude, it's skate parks had the skatable ledges for 1998 or whatever.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had skatable ledges.
Yeah, they were good. They were good to
And
go.
that was a fun day. It was like all the tilt mode guys. That spot was fucking crazy.
Right here, the bump to it.
Yeah. So there was a giant bump, a huge bump
To that.
to a metal picnic table. Like galvanized steel picnic
Oh
table.
yeah, those.
So that thing with a bump to it was like a curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just boop.
And you looked rad because you were on a picnic table.
He was on that table.
But dude, that bump, you could go over 2 of those things
Yeah.
with that bump. Okay, true story about this one. I didn't do frontside nose slides down rails. I do them now. I
Yeah.
can do them now. That's when I learned.
This is when you're learning them for
I
this
learned them
video.
on this rail. I think Jamie Thomas was there. He showed us this rail in Miami. And dudes had like fucked it up. Jamie had fucked that thing up. So Jamie met us in Hawaii and he was like, I've got a fucking spot. I got a rail. And you see earlier in the part, I front board that. That was like the extent of my rail tricks. Like I could 50-50 in front board.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, this is like a ledge. And I always loved Moses Ikonen.
He would lock in just.
Yeah, and like, dude, you see Moses just like the way his back foot hangs off the board, where he is grabbing it, like he's just Moses.
Yeah, it's like
is
wrapped up under it.
Yeah, his toe is just up under it, and he like I've never seen another human being do that. He's just like Moses' foot is just like, fuck yes, you're coming with me. So we go to that thing, and I'm with Jamie, and I'm like, I want to front nose this, and yeah, he's fucking hyped. Dude, I was so fucking scared.
That's a scary trick to do on a big rail.
I was so scared. And dude, Jamie, like I don't skate rails. I was so fucking scared, but I kept going, no, dude, it's a ledge. It's not a rail, it's a ledge. Just think of it as a ledge. Think of it as legs. And you're like, how am I gonna hold it that long?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. So I had to fight through, I was like back there, like panic attack. I had to fight through a panic attack to get myself to jump on it and commit to it. That was so fucking scary for me in 1999.
Yeah, that's
and I think Jamie was like, fucking do that shit, dude.
After you got into like one, was it good to go? You're like, all right, I feel it. Yeah, feel it.
No.
Oh,
Fuck
really?
no.
You're like,
Fuck
no,
no.
I'm still scared.
So front noses are gnarly. Like people don't even know, like that is a fucking gnarly trick.
Yeah.
If you're sliding a long front nose, you are a bad motherfucker. Seriously. That shit was like, it was like a spiritual experience. It was just like coming out of a Native American sweat lodge.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fucking fucking shit. I just worked through some trauma. Shit, I just worked through some childhood trauma. Fuck. I'm so stoked on that, dude. Ty and Greg. Ty, oh my God, I'd never done this trick ever in my life. I did this trick in like 10 tries.
Whew.
I'm not
Nollie
kidding.
heel,
Nollie heel, back nose grind. And Ty, dude, so I did this, and Ty was looking at the footage, and he goes, fuck yeah, Marky. He goes, I think that's actually the best thing I've ever filmed. He said that to me.
Right, yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah.
Ty Evans was just like, he goes, dude, Mark, that is like the best thing I've ever filmed. And I was just like, oh.
Yes. That's epic. At one of the best spots in the world ever.
I feel like that trick could only go down for me on that spot like that.
What's your overall feeling about that video part? You said it earlier, I think. That's one of your favorite video parts of all time.
Yeah, and I categorize video parts into just skating with the homies, and a video came out of that. And then I was going out every day, and I have to do a video now. I'm just going skating, and like, fucking whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, whatever you get, you get.
Those are the best video parts ever. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
Because dude, I was just going and hanging out with Ty Evans. Like, you didn't have to film for a TransWorld video. Your job didn't depend on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did it because you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome stories, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time, man.
You're like, I heard this guy, Cliff Kaufman can do kickflips. And he was a football player. Cliff was like a gnarly football player. So everyone's like, what the hell is a kickflip? We're like, okay, it's where you ollie and the board flips and you land back on it. And you're like, no way, can't be done. And this football player, Cliff Kaufman, came out skating with us. He was a really cool guy. He wasn't like a gnarly jock asshole. He was a cool guy. We're like, Cliff, dude, do a kickflip. He did a kickflip. We're like, oh my God, that was the fucking trick, a kickflip. That was the trick. This is something you never thought possible, and you saw it, and it was like, I can't believe it. It's possible. But the craziest thing about skateboarding is you can say, what if? You can say, what if I could do this? I think I could probably do this. And you can do it. Yeah. You can go do it. You can take something that was just pure thought, and you can make it reality, because that's just the way it is,